All right, everyone. So I decided I would do a couple of readings about relationships since several people have gotten engaged recently. So I'm starting with Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, and I'm doing the astronumerology. And historically, always look at numerology first. It gives me so much information. And I'm like, okay, if the numerology is bad, I need to go to astrology next. So that's what I did with Travis and Taylor Swift. So to start with, when you look at the numerology, and let me give you the key features. So Taylor Allison Swift, born December 13th, 1989 at 5:17. Travis Michael Kelce, born October 5th, 1989, time unknown. She's born on a Wednesday with the influence of Mercury. He's born on a Thursday with the influence of Jupiter. Her sun sign is Sagittarius. His sun sign is Libra. And I'm going to leave that there until we get to the astrology portion of it. So I start looking at the traditional numerology, life path, birthday, attitude numbers. And I go down the list to see how many soul numbers they have, like how many numbers they have in common. And b- before I look at the numbers in common, I look at what types of numbers they are. So if it's a challenge number, a compatible number, or a neutral number, right? Those or a natural number. Those are the four places that I put the numbers. So I look at seven different numbers, and then I look at the karmic debts, karmic lessons, and their personal years and personal months. And that paints a picture for me of their relationship as a whole, where they go well together and where they don't go well together. So and I use his short name as Travis. First short name is Taylor. So I go through everything. And the first thing I look at the soul numbers. Taylor is a 3, Travis is an 8, challenge number. Personality number. Taylor is a 1, Travis is a 6, challenge number. Power name number. Taylor is a 4, Travis is a 5, challenge number. Birthday number. Taylor's a 4, Travis is a 5, challenge number. Life path number. She's a 7, he's a 6. Challenge number. Attitude. She's a 7, he's a 6. Challenge number. Which challenge numbers, historically, with me, that means that you got some friction, some things that you have to work past. So look at the compatible numbers in the whole list of things. They're minor numbers, they have some compatibility. So the minor hearts and the minor personality numbers, they're compatible. And then their minor expressions. So the lower portions of themselves, they are compatible. Other key things, because you might be compatible with a person on paper, but if you're going through different challenges, you all of a sudden become incompatible. When I look at their karmic lessons, means the lessons that they have to learn in this time, they both have two numbers to learn, and both of those numbers are compatible. Taylor came with some karmic debts, one being the number 16, which explains why she's had all the trouble in relationships, and Travis didn't come with any. So that's where we stand with that. Now, when I get to their years, it's like chaos. And I saw that they started having a relationship in 2023. So in 2023, 2 years ago, they probably had a similar type energy going on. But here's the thing. Um, right now, Taylor's in a 7 year, Travis is in a 6 year. The 6 years to home, thinking about love, romance, all that kind of stuff. And of course, proposing to her. And a 9, this is a 9 month, which is a 6 month for him. This is very much settling down type energy for him. This entire year feels that way for him, right? But this year is a challenge number for them, right? And I look from the 25, 26, 27, all challenged because they have 1 degree of separation throughout most of their time. And that 1 degree of separation normally is about leadership, selfishness, individuality. It's really difficult to be in a partnership when you have individual traits. That same thing goes down to their months. For instance, September is a 7 month for her, more internal. A 6 for him, more building a family foundation kind of energy. And then next month, October, is an 8 number for her, more leading towards power, success, fame, money, maybe touring, traveling, something to that nature. And he gets the 7 energy, which is a challenge. So they have a history of like 3 challenge months, and then they have 1 compatible month, which will be a December. Then January, they have a challenge month. Then February, March, and April, they get 3 compatible months. And then May, June, July, August, they have challenge months. So they got that pattern that continues, and that happens in the years as well. They get 3 challenge years, 3 compatible years, more challenge years, more compatible years, which means times where things are like going smooth with them because they're in similar compatible energies. Now, I say that any relationship can be worked out if you understand the energy that your partner is in and you know how to work with it because you've just been going through it. But a lot of people don't put the time into looking at what their partner is experiencing, so they can't navigate these waters. Now, because of all of the challenge numbers that are here, if they came to me for a session and wanted to know my opinion, I would say, well, the reason you feel the soulmate connection is because you have 4 numbers in common out of all of your numbers. They're in common in different areas, but those parts of yourselves are attracted to the other part of the person. That's soulmate energy. Soulmate energy does not always equate to a life partner. Soulmate energy means you really connect with that person on different things. They just don't always line up. So you might connect with a person and how you think about yourself, but not necessarily how you think about the world, which explains some of the political things that they don't necessarily see eye to eye on. So again, those are differences, and those differences over time, if not managed and worked through, become too much for many couples to handle. They had so many challenge numbers. I was like, wait a minute, they have to have something. Let me go look at the astrology. So one, they're born in the same year, right? So born in the same year, they automatically feel some kind of attraction because they experience a lot of the same things. They have a lot of the same histories. 2, they're only born 2 months apart. Now, if you follow me with astrology and numerology, and numerology have this thing of 2s and astrology had this thing of 3s. So I said, let me pull up the astrology. And what did I find? Travis and Kelce have the same rising sign. They are both, now, although they're different sun signs, their ascendant, which I tell you, the rising sign is the direction of your life. Their rising signs are both Scorpio. Their rising signs are very close. They're born 2 months apart, basically a little less than 2 months apart. And, well, actually, a little more than 2 months, like 2 months, 2 weeks or so apart. But in their natal chart, they have some of the same energy in the same houses because they're both Scorpio rising. So then they have Saturn energy in their 2nd house. They have Rahu energy in their 3rd house. They have K2 energy in their 9th house. They have Jupiter energy in their 8th house, which makes them pretty compatible sexually, by the way. They have some of the same energies in their astrological chart. And I can imagine that commonality, although there's some parts that are really, really different, especially Travis. I hadn't done the research to look into what's going on with his mother, what kind of relationship he had with his mom. But anyway, that's a whole separate thing. But see what happens. I'll be reading these charts and I pick up on other different energies, but I digress. The basic thing is when I see the astrology chart, I wholeheartedly understand the attraction because they, unbeknownst to everyone else, They have a lot of energies in the same areas of their life with their rising, which what they're growing to. So went back to the numerology and I said, well, where are they going to mature at? Because your maturity number is an indicator of staying power. They both have the maturity number of 11, which means, and maturity, let's just say after 50, could be before 50, but let's just say after 50, they would be mentally at a similar place, which says if they can weather the storms of the incompatible years where one is traveling, the other one isn't, one is wanting to build a family, wanting to get pregnant and or have babies, the other one doesn't. They're going to be off by a year. It's like the next year, the other person to be like, all right, I'm ready now. If they can get through that, yes, the relationship can last as long as they are aware that they are always just a little out of sync on some things, even though from the astrological side, they have all these other things in common. Now, let's bring up something with Taylor. Taylor has a 16-7 karmic debt. And that karmic debt is a similar energy to what some other people who have had multiple relationships that did not work out. Some other famous people that we won't get into. So, because of that, you can understand why she's had so many relationships that gave her heartache and breakups and things of that nature. Now she's moving into one of her other karmic debts, which is about industry. So perhaps this time she's a little bit better able to handle this relationship. She's also in a 4 life path, which is a building number, but it's also that home energy is the 4th house. So she is thinking about settling down. Having that Scorpio energy says to me that this is more of a business type deal, a business type relationship in the sense of a practical approach to I love you, I care about you, I can build with you kind of energy versus I'm head over heels in love with you and I can't see my life without you. This is more of a two people putting a building together, laying the foundation and building the walls and building something like that, right? This is not the head over heels, thinking with my heart and all else doesn't matter kind of energy, which I think is where their success lies. Now, again, if they had have asked me starting out, I would have been like, all of this energy, are you ready for that? So that's what's happening. So for people who don't understand how they're together, why they're together, makes sense. Who knew? So, all right, that's Taylor and Travis. Um, have a good one.